Hello, good morning, and happy Friday from the ski hill. I have taken the day off to take some time back, and to my utter delight, I get to go skiing today. For those of you who are not anywhere near Alberta or have not been looking the weather or hearing this at some point in the future, have no idea what day it is. It's the 7th of January today. It's been phenomenally cold in Calgary for the last 3-4 weeks. Like, I'm talking minus 20 is a warm day, and it's been colder than that. We've had wind chills up to minus 41, I think I've seen. I had an interesting drive out to the mountains today, which is why I'm popping on the podcast today, because I got to tell all you about this. I left Calgary this morning. It was minus 20 with the temperature. Don't know what the wind chill is, probably in the minus 30s, but the temperature was minus 20. I did a quick double check just to make sure that, did I actually read the forecast correctly for the ski hill today? Is it in fact going to be warm? Because I really am not interested in skiing at minus 20. It makes everything kind of sucky, especially if you're going to go by yourself. So yeah, check the forecast. No, it's supposed to be like minus 5 today. All right, cool. Off I go. It's about an hour and 15 minutes drive from our garage to the parking lot at the ski hill. So I head off, drive through Calgary. Still minus 20. Head out down the highway, still minus 20. I reach the turnoff. I need to take an exit to get to the road, the highway that runs to the ski hill. Still minus 20. By now I'm starting to think, did I read that correctly? Maybe it's actually not supposed to be like minus 5 until like 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it might be really cold all day, which can happen. If anybody's not familiar with mountain weather, that is a very normal thing. Doesn't happen all the time, but very normal. So I reach the exit, still minus 20. Okay, take the exit, off I go, still minus 20. I stop. There's a tourist center that's maybe about 15-20 minutes from the ski hill parking lot. Go use the washroom, come back out, still minus 20. I'm like, I'm like 15 minutes away. I must have read this wrong. Now, I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep going and trust that what I read is correct. There's a point in my story about the weather. Stay with me. So I keep going. Off I go. Still minus 20, still minus 20, still minus 20. I'm on a mountain road, lots of twists and turns, relatively snow covered with a little bit of bare pavement, which is a very capable car. And that car has all-wheel drive. I have great winter tires on it, has all the tools that I need. It's nice and warm because, of course, I've been driving for an hour already, so we're good. We come to a point in the road, not only is it twisty and turny, but it's lots of hills because, of course, I'm in the mountains and I'm on my way to a ski hill. So my altitude is going to go up some as I come from Calgary and reach the ski hill. At one point, I see ahead of me because when I stopped, I got out of like the stream of traffic, and when I turned back on the highway, there was nobody around me. So at some point, I come across this hill and I see there's 4 cars ahead, and one of them is dead stopped in the middle of a hill going uphill. And I'm looking and I'm kind of going, okay, are there animals around? Like, why is this person stopped? It's illogical that they would have slid and can't get up the hill because it wasn't that steep of an incline, and there was a downhill on the way to this incline. Oddly enough, if you have not seen this before, people will get stuck going uphill if they're going too slowly. So I'm watching as I'm approaching this, and I'm slowing down my speed a little bit to kind of see what's happening. I see the 3 cars behind this vehicle, carefully, but they move around and they keep going down the highway. And I'm like, what is happening? So I approach this, the person stopped, it's just stopped. There are no hazard signals. There's nothing to indicate that anything's wrong, nothing to let people know that they are there. They've just flat out stopped in the middle of the highway. As I move around them, I give them a honk, because in the mountains, you have to, if you're going to stop on the road, it can be very, very dangerous, especially if you are doing nothing to indicate something's wrong. Put your hazards on. So I go around this person. I literally, as I come around the car and keep moving up the road, all of a sudden, all of my interior windows fog up instantaneously. I had never, ever, I'm 38 years old, everyone. I've never in my life seen that. all my interior windows fog up. Now I can still see through my windshield because I had my defrost running on low with my heat on my feet because my toes get cold when I'm driving. So the center of my windshield was warm and I had, air moving across it so I could still see, but I couldn't believe it. All my side windows completely fogged. I was down to maybe 50 or 60% visibility through my front windshield because the whole rest of the windshield area had fogged over. So I'm like, well, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Crest the hill. We're now coming down the hill, and those 3 vehicles that had just moved around this previous one are moving very slowly. Okay, cool. It's a little bit icy. Everybody's probably if I've fogged up, they're probably having the same situation. We'll just hang tight. As I go, I eventually pass all 3 of them because everybody ended up going quite slowly. And about 10 minutes later, not even 5 minutes later, I happened to have a peek at the temperature on my dash and realized it had warmed up 16 degrees in 10 minutes. And I suddenly realized, oh my God, that's probably what that was. I went through the transition point, and because there was such a drastic difference in temperature from one point to the next, there's just a huge amount of humidity in the air. Now, I am no scientist. I could be completely wrong. Somebody might be listening to this and be like, Amy, that's complete bullshit, which is totally fair. I'm just guessing, making an educated guess based on my experience and what I was seeing. But it's fascinating seeing all this. Now, there's a point to this. I promise I'm getting to it. On my way out here today, I was listening to Bob Proctor talking about money. It's very fascinating. There's a really interesting podcast episode. I think it's called The Power of Money if you wanted to look for it on Spotify. It's about an hour and a half of Bob Proctor, and it's fascinating. I've listened to it twice now. It's my 3rd time listening to it. I highly recommend it. So I'm thinking about all of what I've been listening with Bob Proctor, and I was thinking about this experience that I just had on the drive and was still having on the drive, and all of a sudden everything started to come together, and I realized, oh my gosh, isn't this the human experience? So here's what we tend to do. This is where the point of my weather story is going to come together for you. How many of us start moving towards a goal? We leave our home, we're heading to the ski hill, we know where we want to go, we know where we've started, we have an idea of the path to get there, and we think we're set to go down the route. So off we go. We see, as we keep going, we see at the beginning, like, things aren't necessarily aligning with what we had expected. It's not bad, right? It's not scary. You're not like, oh my gosh, I'm in mortal danger here, but it just isn't quite aligning. And it starts seeding those little seeds of doubt of, did I see this right? Did I think this right? Am I going in the right direction? Is this actually what's meant for me? So, but we know, it's going to take a little bit of friction, and we're okay with a little bit of friction, and we're okay with, putting in hard work or effort or whatever. We're going to just operate on faith and keep going. And then we get a little further down the road, and we still see no indicators that we're making any forward motion. Now that doubt is starting to get a little louder. Now we're starting to think, okay, maybe I'm crazy for thinking this is a good idea. If you have someone with you who's not familiar with the road, not familiar with how weather patterns can change and move and how quickly you can be into different temperatures, the person beside you or along the path with you might say, hey, I don't think this is a great idea. Let's turn around and go back. I don't think it's going to be what we think it is when we get there. And some people are going to say, you know what? You're probably right. I'm really not interested in skiing when it's minus 20. Let's turn around and go back. We'll have a chill day at home. Okay, cool. Some of you will keep going. You'll be like, no, I believe that it's going to be this. I saw this as the goal. I knew that, I did all the things I needed to. I checked the temperature. I've packed appropriate clothes. I want to go skiing today. I'm going to keep going. So off you go. Now you're further down the road. You're starting to approach that exit. But you are looking down and you're still seeing no indication that what you thought was going to happen is actually going to happen. So the doubt becomes louder still because now you're an hour in, right? It's an hour 15-minute drive or an hour 20-minute drive. You're an hour in, almost an hour in, and there's still no indication that what you saw is actually what's going to happen. Now, at this point is where lots of people are going to give up. Lots of people are going to say, you know what? I guess I was wrong. I guess that's not the case. I might as well give up. Let's go do something else today. There's going to be fewer still that are going to say, I'm still going to keep going. So off I go. Take the exit. I'm going to keep going. I have faith that this is going to work out the way I believe it's going to, even though 70% of the people around me are telling me that I'm going in the wrong direction. So we keep going. You have the pit stop. You take a moment. You have to go pee. You need to grab a snack. You need to regroup. You're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, burnt out, and you're going, okay, I need to just take a break for a second. So I'm just going to take a break. And when you finish your break, or as you're about to keep going, you're going, there is still no indication that what I think is going to happen is going to come to pass. And more people are going to turn around and go back and say, I guess I was wrong. So now maybe we're down to 4 people out of 100. Keep going. We're in the extreme minority. You keep driving. You keep going down the path. You keep heading the direction that you want to go. You come across someone who's stuck on the road, who's just stopped. No indication that anything's wrong, but something's stopped. And as you go to move around them, you suddenly lose visibility. You don't know where you're going anymore. You can't see the road in front of you. You have no idea how to get there. And there's so few people around you. You're starting to get worried that you're a complete lunatic. You're going entirely in the wrong direction. And who in God's name do you think you are to be out here anyway? So lots of people will stop. And maybe they'll just stop and sit there. And they'll just stare into the abyss and wonder, what would happen if I went there, but I'm unwilling to take the risk and try it. I'm just going to stop here because I don't know. I don't know how to keep going. So now we're down to maybe 3 people. 2 people are now going a little further. Those 2 people have faith that it's going to work out. They just believe that it's going to work out. But more than that, beyond just having faith, because it's so easy for someone to say, just have faith that it's going to work out. Having faith when everything around you is showing that this is the wrong thing to do, that you're going in the wrong direction, that people think you're completely fucking nuts for going the direction you are, is unbelievably hard. So what else can you do in that moment besides just white knuckle it through with faith and go, oh my God, I'm just going to believe that this is going to work? Look at the tools in your disposal. Now, walking back to the experience on the highway, this is what fascinated me. So I have a Subaru, mentioned this before in the podcast. My car is very capable. I also have full faith in my vehicle. I know it's capable. I know what it can do. I know how to drive it. So I'm also have faith in my abilities. But as I go through this moment where all of a sudden I can't see nothing out of my windows, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Right? I'm driving along, having a great time, listening to my motivational podcast, learning things, feeling stoked that it's Friday and I'm fucking going to the ski hill and I'm so friggin' excited and I can't see anything. I could panic and go, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do anymore. But instead, I'm going to go, okay, all right, this is fine. I have a very capable vehicle. This vehicle is not at all concerned about a little bit of fog in the window. So what tools do I need to employ? So I turn on my defrost, which kicks my defrost up into super high gear. Within 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, all my windows are clear. I realize about 3 minutes after that my side view mirrors are completely fogged up. I go, well, isn't that interesting? Both the inside and outside of my vehicle has fogged up. Well, that's fascinating. I keep driving, and then I remember I see the little symbol on my side view mirror that says that my side view mirrors are heated. Oh, right. I forgot that my vehicle had that tool. So I click the button to turn on the defrost. Within 3 minutes, I can see completely clearly through my side view mirrors. Now I have great visibility on the highway around what's around and behind me. My rear window starts defogging, so I can see everything. And the cool thing was, because when I left the city, it was absolutely atrociously dirty. And because I'd gone through this really humid patch, all of a sudden I could hit the windshield wiper blade and I could see clearly through my back window. So I actually could see better than I could when I left an hour before. When we're on the journey and we hit that point where we cannot see anything in front of us, we can't see anything behind us, and everybody around us has left, and there's maybe 1 or 2 of us struggling along the road, what are the tools that we have to lean on? And this is where many of us, and when I say many of us, I am including myself in this because I still am on the journey. I am still trying to figure out my way there. We forget that we have all these tools, or we might remember one or two of them, but we get disheartened. And here's what fascinated me, because as I mentioned, coming around that other vehicle, you might think, oh, Amy, I bet that other vehicle didn't have those tools. Maybe they didn't have the ability for those things. Maybe they aren't familiar with winter driving, which the last one could be true. The amount of people who drive in the mountains who are terrible at winter driving always never ceases to amaze me. I'm just like, really? Really? It's all good. This is a relatively new. I'm going to say within the last 2-3 years, BMW. I know cars. I know that this vehicle has more bells and whistles than my car does. Now, they may not have all-wheel drive. I don't know. But I do know that the simple tools like the defrost on the mirrors in the back window, they have all those tools. I guarantee you they have a heated steering wheel. I guarantee that it's like nice and warm on the inside. They probably have all-wheel drive because it was an SUV. This vehicle is so capable, and yet this person is stuck because they forgot that they had the tools. They didn't know that they could use them. They didn't think about it because they panicked. So when you're at that point where you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going in the right direction, and like nothing, I can't see anything in front or behind or beside or around me, and I'm all alone out here, and what is going on, and maybe I should slow down, and maybe I should stop, maybe I should turn back, this is a bad idea. What are the tools that you have at your disposal? Tools can look like anything because they are going to vary for every person and every situation. Sometimes a tool that you need to employ is a good friend. And I don't mean a good friend that you can just vent to and who can agree with, yes, you're right, life is shitty. I mean a friend who can listen to you, hold space for you, and then challenge you to grow higher. And if you don't have those friends, start finding them, because they will make or break the difference of your journey. I have those friends. I had to use one of those friends this week. When I was doubting everything in my work and feeling absolutely exhausted and just wondering, what in the fuck am I doing here? I reached out to a friend and said, I need to talk. I said, do you have some time today? She said, for you, I always have time. So we connected. We spent about 20, 30, maybe 45 minutes talking. And after talking with her, I felt so much more grounded. I slept better that evening. I had way more energy coming into work the next day. I just felt fully supported. That's a tool. Meditation is a powerful tool that we want to be using every day. So good for you. So unbelievably good for you. There's studies that have shown how good meditation is for our mental and emotional well-being. Keep practicing the tool, especially when I forget who it is that says it, but if meditate 5 minutes every day. And if you tell me that you don't have 5 minutes every day, then meditate 10 minutes every day. It's so important that we hold that as a non-negotiable in our day, that we are going to do our meditation. You can flex when you do it. Maybe you don't do it in the morning. Maybe you do it over lunch. Maybe you do it in the evening. Maybe you do it right before bed. But meditate every day. It's so powerful. You can do it for 5 minutes. Hell, you can do it for 3 minutes. But meditate every day. Practice. See what it looks like. Meditation is a practice. Nobody says I'm a meditation expert. I'm nailing it every single time. They talk about their meditation practice, right? What other tools are available to you? What else can you draw on? Maybe you're working with a coach. Maybe you have podcast episodes that you're listening to. Maybe there's books that you're reading. Maybe you need to just remember that you are the most powerful tool that you have. Something that I've known for decades. And I don't know why I knew it. I've just always known it. I've known it in my DNA. I've known it through every struggle I've ever gone in my life, is that there is nothing that exists in this world that is more powerful than I am. So if I'm ever in the way, if I'm never not going somewhere, I know, I've known this for decades, that it's not because something outside of me is stopping. I've known that it's something inside of me, which is infuriating because it feels like if it's outside of me, I could go find a way to fix it or get it out of the way or change where I live or change the job that I'm doing or change the people I hang around with or whatever. But it's this external thing. And if you want to really play into the victim, you can go, well, it never would have worked out because of this external thing. My partner isn't supportive of me. My kids take too much time. My job is exhausting and I don't have energy. I'm not in the right place. People around me don't believe in this kind of stuff. It's so easy. It is so unbelievably easy. It drives me crazy when people give me those excuses for why they're not seeing those things. There is a point at which it's valid of, I know right now that my work is taking a phenomenal amount of energy from me. I know that. I also know I'm in a huge state of learning. I'm doing deep, deep, deep growth. It's the state I am right now with my job. So I'm okay with it to a degree. I'm not okay with it to let it sit, but I am okay with it to say, okay, I'm in phenomenal learning. I'm going to flex the tools, but I also need to be kind to myself to go, I can't go balls to the wall in every single direction of my life because I will exhaust myself and it's the wrong kind of energy to engage from. But people will teach you that that's what you need to do. You're not happy in work? Amazing. Go spend 30 more hours a week trying to get your business off the ground. And I don't care if you're exhausted, that's the price that you have to pay to make it work. That is not the price you have to pay. That's not the price you have to pay. You need to come into this kind of work from a place of joy, from something that makes you feel good. If you are shoulding on yourself, I should do this, and therefore I'm going to do these things because I feel guilty if I don't, it's the wrong energy. And you're going to just simply attract more of the shoulds and the guilt. Who wants more of that in your life? Is that the kind of business that you're wanting to build? Is that the kind of life you're wanting to build? Maybe you're not interested in building a business. But if that's not the kind of life or business or experience or reality that you want to have in your life, why the fuck would you take action in that energy? Because that's what you're going to get more of. And it's taken me a long ass time to learn that. So I pay very close attention now when people say to me, you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, should is, in human design, I'm a generator. Shoulds to generators are like the devil. It's the worst kind of energy to be in. It's not where generators are supposed to work from. And in fact, if I work from should energy, I'm actually doing harm to the collective just by moving in that energy. So as soon as you start thinking about it, you're like, holy shit. If I start doing harm to the people around me because I'm operating out of should and out of guilt, well, that's not good. I don't want to cause harm to people around me. Would you intentionally hurt your spouse, your kids, your partner, your friends? No, nobody would intentionally hurt the people they love around them. And yet they do things because they feel they should, or they're operating out of guilt over and over and over again. And you're doing exactly that. You're causing harm to the people around you. It's crazy. Feeling like I'm talked out today. This experience of driving out today is going to stay in my brain. And now I'm going to go put my ski boots on, grab my skis, and head out to the hill. I was here on time, that I would have been on the lifts when they opened. It is now 9:15, which means they've been open for 15 minutes. And I'm totally okay with it because I needed to bring this to all of you. I needed to make sure that somehow I communicated this out. If you found this to be powerful, beneficial, helpful in any way, shape, or form, please share this episode out. Let me know in the comments. Give me a review, whether it's not me, give the podcast a review on whatever stream that you're listening to. I know that lots of people talk about iTunes reviews, so I'd love an iTunes review. Would appreciate that. But share it out. If you're sharing on social media, be sure to tag me at @IDareToBegin. All one word. I appreciate you. I believe in you, but it really doesn't matter if I believe in you because you need to believe in you. So find a way to believe in you because you're more powerful than you know.